NASA's Curiosity rover spots clearest ever evidence of water on Mars. The Curiosity rover, a car-sized robot built by the National Aeronautics and Space Administration (NASA), has been traversing the Martian terrain for a decade. Most recently, it made a groundbreaking discovery in the foothills of a Martian mountain. The rover took pictures of rippled rocks that provide the most robust evidence yet of ancient water waves on the red planet. These peculiar rocks are similar to the undulating patterns left behind by receding tides on a beach. Mission scientists believe they were possibly created billions of years ago by waves rippling on the surface of a shallow lake. The movement on top of the lake stirred up sediment from the bottom, resulting in the combed texture seen on the rocks today. Ashwin Vasavada, who is Curiosity's project scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, said in a statement that this is the best evidence of water and waves that we've seen in the entire mission. The discovery came as a surprise since researchers expected this to be a dry area. This is because the rock layers here developed in drier settings than in other regions. The area's sulfates, or salty minerals, are believed to have been left behind when water was drying up. Despite climbing through thousands of feet of lake deposits, we had never seen evidence like this before. It's amazing to find it in a place where we expected it to be dry, Vasavada said. Since 2014, Curiosity has been ascending the foothills of a towering 5-kilometer mountain, Mount Sharp. This was once dotted with lakes and streams, providing a potential habitat for microbial life. The layered composition of Mount Sharp, with the oldest layers at the bottom and the youngest at the top, presents a Martian timeline for scientists to study the evolution of the planet from a warmer, water-rich environment to the present-day freezing desert. Having climbed nearly 0.8 kilometers above the mountain's base, the rover has found rippled rock textures preserved in the marker band. This is a thin layer of dark rock distinct from the rest of Mount Sharp. This discovery offers new insights into the water history of Mars and the possibility of ancient life on the red planet. The findings are expected to provide a foundation for future missions to Mars and will continue to shape our understanding of this mysterious world. However, the rock layer is rather hard around these parts. Curiosity is yet to be able to drill a sample from it, despite several attempts. Dog rescued from Turkey earthquake rubble after 90 hours trapped under wreckage. A dog has been rescued from the rubble of the Turkey earthquake after being buried for 90 hours. The pet, named Pamuk, became trapped after the biggest natural disaster in more than 2 decades shook the region, killing more than 20,000 people and leaving tens of thousands homeless and hungry. Pamuk drank water offered by rescuers as they tore away at the heavy debris left by the 7.8 magnitude tremor and powerful aftershocks. Neighbors said the owner was in hospital, but the rescue raised hopes that children and adults could yet be discovered alive under the debris. A 10-day-old baby and his mother were also plucked from the rubble on Friday. The boy, named Yagis, was retrieved from a wrecked building in the southern Hatay province, which has suffered terrible damage from the tremors. Man finds rat inside bread packet delivered by Blinkit, Twitter is angry. Not only food delivery, but online applications have made life simpler by kickstarting door-to-door grocery shipments. However, for this Twitter user, ordering bread online turned out to be one of the most unpleasant experiences of his entire life. The problem wasn't that the bread was stale, but he was shocked to find an alive rat inside the product's packet. Identified to be Nitin Arora, the consumer used Blinkit to procure an instant delivery of the grocery item. But the package has now left him scared for his entire life. Sharing a photograph of the bread packet as proof, the user revealed his unpleasant experience on Twitter. He wrote, "Most unpleasant experience with Blinkit, where an alive rat was delivered inside the bread packet ordered on 1.2.23. This is alarming for all of us. If 10 minutes delivery has such baggage, Blinkit, I would rather wait for a few hours than take such items." The tweet also consisted of a screen grab of his conversation with the customer care service of the online application. In the brief interaction, Blinkit's executive assured the customer that the incident has been escalated for investigation from their end. While doing so, the executive also apologized for the inconvenience suffered by the consumer. Take a look at it here. The unusual delivery story of Nitin Arora has left Twitter in shock, and a barrage of users demanded the case be thoroughly investigated not only by Blinkit but even by the food security authorities. A user wrote, "As much as English Oven and Blinkit need to explain this. I wonder if our food safety authority actually audits these places from time to time and checks for safety." Another commented, "Blinkit, better late than never. Try to make sure of good and safe delivery." One more added, "The food safety department should respond to this. They should not continue blind eye." Meanwhile, a user added, "If I found a rat, I would call the police. This is so dangerous." Though the issue was instantly escalated, it is yet unknown how the online delivery company has compensated for this major inconvenience. 2 days to respond, top e-pharmacy firms under scanner of Modi government, show cause notice issued. According to a top official at DCGI's office, around 24 firms have been sent the notice, which mentions that the online sale of some particular medicines without a valid license has a potential impact on the quality of drugs and pose risk to public health. E-pharmacies are under the scanner of the Narendra Modi government. The Apex Health Regulatory Agency of India, the Drug Controller General of India (DCGI), on Friday served a show cause notice to top Indian e-pharmacy companies. In the notice, the DCGI, VG Summony, warned these companies of further action, while giving the deadline of merely 2 days to respond to the notice. Sent on February 10, the notice titled, Online Sale and Distribution of the Drugs in the Country, straightforwardly asked the e-pharmacists to demonstrate why action shall not be taken against you for the sale or stock or exhibit or offer for sale or distribution of drugs in contravention of the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, 1940 and rules made thereunder. In case no reply is received, it will be presumed that you have nothing to say in this matter and necessary action shall be initiated against you without any further notice. According to a top official at DCGI's office, around 24 firms have been sent the show cause notice. The list of names also includes top players dealing in the online sales of drugs in India, such as an American e-commerce behemoth, India-grown online drug selling platforms, consultancy platforms, or other e-commerce companies which gradually started selling medicines. According to the notice sent, the office of the DCGI has been receiving various representations from time to time, raising concerns regarding the sale of drugs online, on the internet, or other electronic platforms, including various mobile applications in contravention of the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, 1940. Such sale includes drugs specified in Schedule H, H1 and X which are only allowed to be sold by retail under a valid prescription of a registered medical practitioner and supplied under the supervision of a registered pharmacist, it says. The notice mentions that the sale or stock or exhibit or offer for sale or distribution of drugs online, internet, or on other electronic platforms without a license has a potential impact on the quality of drugs and pose risk to public health due to potential misuse of drugs through self-medication, indiscriminate use of the drugs, etc. It clarifies that as per Rule 62 of the Act, if the drug is sought to be sold or stocked for sale at more than one place, a separate application is to be made to the licensing authority for a grant of license. DCGI reiterates that his office has forwarded the order of the High Court on a similar issue to the state drug controllers twice in 2019 and once in February 2023 for necessary action and compliance. In spite of the same, you are found to be engaged in such activities without a license, the notice said. Russia likely lost dozens of armoured vehicles near Ukraine's Vuhledar, UK. February 10, Reuters. Russian forces likely lost dozens of armoured vehicles in a single, failed attack near the eastern Ukrainian city of Vuhledar, British intelligence said on Friday, as one pro-Russian blogger warned of a crisis in troop command. Vuhledar, a Ukrainian-held bastion at the strategic intersection between the eastern and southern front lines, has seen some of the bloodiest fighting of the war as Russia continues a relentless assault on the eastern front. Russian troops likely fled and abandoned at least 30 mostly intact armoured vehicles in a single incident after a failed assault, Britain's defence ministry said in a daily briefings. Reuters was not able to immediately verify the British ministry's claim. Unverified photos shared by military bloggers appeared to show several armoured vehicles and tanks strewn across the battlefield. Russia's defense ministry has not commented on the report, but it says military operations near Vuhledar and the city of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, which Russia has been trying to encircle, are progressing well. Its forces have been making clear, if gradual, advances in the area in the past month, notably capturing the salt mining town of Vuhledar to Bakhmut's north. Russia likely lost dozens of armoured vehicles near Ukraine's Vuhledar, UK. Reuters. Russian service members hold drills in the Rostov region. Russian service members drive tanks during drills held by the armed forces of the southern military district at the Kardamovsky range in the Rostov region, Russia, February 3, 2022. Reuters. Sergei Pivovarov. February 10, Reuters. Russian forces likely lost dozens of armoured vehicles in a single, failed attack near the eastern Ukrainian city of Vuhledar, British intelligence said on Friday, as one pro-Russian blogger warned of a crisis in troop command. Vuhledar, a Ukrainian-held bastion at the strategic intersection between the eastern and southern front lines, has seen some of the bloodiest fighting of the war as Russia continues a relentless assault on the eastern front. Russian troops likely fled and abandoned at least 30 mostly intact armoured vehicles in a single incident after a failed assault, Britain's defence ministry said in a daily briefing. Register for free to Reuters and know the full story. Reuters was not able to immediately verify the British ministry's claim. Unverified photos shared by military bloggers appeared to show several armoured vehicles and tanks strewn across the battlefield. Russia's defense ministry has not commented on the report, but it says military operations near Vuhledar and the city of Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, which Russia has been trying to encircle, are progressing well. Its forces have been making clear, if gradual, advances in the area in the past month, notably capturing the salt mining town of Vuhledar to Bakhmut's north. Russian bloggers, often highly critical of the performance of the country's military top brass in Ukraine, have also spoken about the reported losses in Vuhledar. One military blogger said on Thursday that 31 armored vehicles had been destroyed by Ukrainian drones after being sent in without artillery cover, reposting images from a Ukrainian Telegram channel that reports on the combat zone.